Yeah, it's a lovely Sunday morning. I'm taking a morning walk. So I want to talk about the night before yesterday when I got into the accident. So my day started with, my regular routine. Take my youngest daughter to daycare. I drop my two other daughters off at the bus because they go to the same school. And me and my wife, we went to go get some stuff. We came back home, took my shower. I turned on my Spark app. I decided that I'm gonna do some Spark. And I got a job from Spark for $46, 35 miles with 12 stops. After I was done that, went to my daughter's school, picked up my youngest daughter from the daycare, dropped them back home. As soon as I dropped them back home, went back in my car. I turned on my Lyft and Uber app, and I caught me a ride with Uber. Did one ride with Uber, then I caught a ride in Newark, Delaware with Lyft. It took me out to Middletown. After that, got another ride with Lyft in Middletown, Delaware. And then I said, you know what? Let me hurry up and just head back home for the night. But at the same time, I'm using a car from Hire Car. So I need to pay for my rental. So my whole purpose of being out that day was to make enough money so I can pay for my rental. I want to make sure I pay for it because last week we had a 2018 Dodge Journey. We had that for like a year. And it got repoed. That was our only source of transportation. And living out in Delaware, all we have is DART buses. And there's places that me and my wife and the kids need to go that DART can't really take us. So we're relying on a car of our own, or just a car to drive. So yeah, I was telling myself, you know what, let me just head back home. But at the same time, if I see any more rides coming that's paying good money, I'm gonna take them just so I can have enough money by the end of the night to make my payment for the car. And I'm heading back, I jumps on the highway, whatever, from Middletown. And I'm heading back to Bear, where I live. And, I get off the highway and everything. I'm making my way home. As I'm making my way, a ride comes in for like $18. So I'm saying, oh yes. Once I see that, I'm starting thinking to myself, if I take this ride, like more rides are gonna start to come in. So I took the ride, and when I took the ride, I see I'm driving and I'm supposed to make a left turn. So turn on my indicators, I make my way into the left turning lane. I get to the intersection, I see this car, it's oncoming car, but that car is making a right. And I see another car. So the car that's making a right, they're supposed to yield to me if I'm in the intersection making a left turn. And then there's another car behind it. That car is slowing down, which I thought, because he wasn't driving fast, but the light was yellow. I was already in the intersection, and I'm slowing down. Next thing you know, the car is right up in my face. We face to face. And in the midst of all of this, I'm here jamming to some old school rap music. I'm not thinking about no accidents gonna happen or nothing. I'm here jamming. You know what I mean? Like the turn that I made this many times driving. I've been driving since I was 18 years old. I mean, I'm 32 now. Had my license before I graduated high school. And I've done a lot of things. I've drove in a lot of states. I drove in states like New York, Jersey, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Jersey, Maryland, you name it. I drove in a lot of places. And yeah, so as I'm trying to make this left turn, I'm thinking that car that was behind that first car that made the right turn, I'm thinking they're gonna stop because they seen the yellow light, because I see them slowing down. So like they're gonna try to stop before the light turned red instead of trying to take it. Instead, they decide they're gonna speed up, and boom, we hit into each other. Like, that hit was so shocking. It's like one of the most unexpected things in my life. I got hit, and the person I was driving, they had a Dodge Journey. I had a 2021 Chevy Malibu. When it hit, it's like a shock. Everything just stopped. Literally, the car, me, my vibe, everything just stopped at one instant. Nose is acting. I'm catching a cold out here. Yeah. Everything just like stopped. It's like whatever vibe or whatever moment I was in, everything just, it's like a switch just got turned all the way off. Whatever I was trying to do, how I was feeling at the moment, everything just got turned off. And airbags came out, all I'm smelling is smoke. It's like I didn't get knocked out or anything, but it was like a shock. It was like a blow. It's like somebody hit you in the face. And my face didn't even hit the steering wheel. Like my face, my body, it didn't move forward. Like the seatbelts caught me in time when the crash happened. And I stood there in the car for like probably 5 minutes after the crash happened. I couldn't even move, not because I was in pain or anything, but because I couldn't believe what the hell just happened. And all that's going through my head at the moment, I'm out here trying to pay for the only source of transportation we using right now, just so me and my wife and my kids can get back and forth to where we gotta go. And I'm just like, damn, what's gonna happen now? I got all types of bills backed up. We got all types of bills backed up. We have a whole bunch of shit we gotta pay for. And I start a job at UPS tomorrow, all the way out in Aberdeen, Maryland. You know, I made a video a couple weeks ago talking about 9 to 5 and having your own business and all of that, but I'm in a position where I kind of need to rely on that 9 to 5 until more doors open. So I don't really have any other options at the moment other than doing Lyft and Uber. But most of that money that I'm making with Lyft and Uber or Spark driver, most of that's gonna go towards the car. So I said, hey, I didn't want to do it, but you know, me and my wife having talks. I'm telling her I don't want to work on 9 to 5 no more, but at the same time, I don't want to put us in a strain. So if I have an opportunity to work a job that's going to pay off whatever bills we have at the moment, I'm gonna have to take it. And what's funny is with UPS, when I went to do the road test, I passed it, and then my car got towed the next day. But not to go off subject, yeah. I'm sitting there in the car or whatever, in the middle of the intersection. It was one of the craziest moments of my life because when it happened, you have all these cars in your face. It's nighttime. Everybody using their high beams, lights on. It's like you're literally in the spotlight. I don't know if you should be embarrassed about being in a car accident, because I mean, it happens to people. If you're driving, there's a 7 out of 10 chance that you're gonna get into an accident. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not your fault. But this is one of the moments where it's like, damn, I feel exposed. Just sitting there in the car. And I couldn't even move. I felt embarrassed, even though I shouldn't feel embarrassed. I felt embarrassed because, like, how you get into an accident with somebody else's car that you're paying for while doing Uber and Lyft? It's not what I wanted to happen. It's not what I expected to happen, but it happened. So, I went out to, it was a Mexican family. I went out to them. I told them I apologize. I said, I wouldn't have made that left turn if I wasn't doing Uber. I was about to pick up somebody doing Uber. I apologize for what happened, because technically I was supposed to yield to oncoming traffic, but I assumed that he was going to stop, and we ran into each other. And right after that, I called the guy whose car I was renting from, a hire car, let him know what happened. When I got on the phone with him, he was real cool about it. Like, he didn't trip. The only thing he said was like, oh man. He asked me if I was good. I told him I was good. He just told me everything to do. He said, all right, don't trip, don't worry about it. You take care of it. Just report it to hire car. Just follow all the necessary steps. Make sure I get a police report, send it to him when I get a chance, everything. So I took care of all of that. I called hire car. The cops came on the scene. Then they took my information. They asked me what happened. After it was all said and done, they just told me I might be fined because it's kind of like a traffic violation because I'm supposed to yield to oncoming traffic. But, it's nothing crazy. They told me how I can fight it. I have a way to fight it where I don't, get any blowback from it, or I don't get in trouble for it. And he told me that I'm not going to get any points on my license because of it, because of the type of situation it was. And he said nobody's at fault. He doesn't determine what's at fault. The insurance company is going to do that. So I said, cool. But that whole situation messed me up. These last 2 days I've been real screwed up about it, because here I am pushing myself to make some money on the side for my family, and I just got a new job that's going to help pay off the bills that we got, because my wife already has a steady job. She's been working since April. I had a job at the airport, but it was actually for Velo Airlines. They was paying me $18 an hour. I was working 3 hours a day, 3-hour shifts a day, and 3 days a week. Man, I didn't even quit. I didn't even do nothing. I just stopped showing up. I got terminated for no call, no show. I didn't even care. Like, that whole job was a joke to me. The job wasn't hard, but the way y'all, like, as a ramp agent, how you gonna pay people that amount of money? How you expect anybody to live off of $18 an hour, working 3 hours a day and 3 days a week? That's foolishness. But yeah, that's what happened. Now I gotta try to figure out how I'm gonna get another vehicle before tomorrow. Trying to figure out how I'm gonna get another vehicle before tomorrow, so my wife can go to work, kids can go to school, daycare, and I can start my position tomorrow. Because it's like an orientation we got tomorrow, all the way out in Aberdeen. And that's like 45 minutes from me. I'm in Bear, Delaware. And I gotta go out to Aberdeen. That's where I'm mainly gonna be at. But I have a feeling like God, there's a lot of moments in my life where God could have just let me go, where I could have died or whatever. But I feel like he's been having a lot of mercy on me, because for one, nothing happened to my license in this accident. I'm using somebody else's car. They didn't blow up on me. And I'm still alive. So in the midst of all of this happening, I still feel like all the dreams that I want to pursue, all the goals that I have, is still possible, because I'm not dead yet. But yeah, that's my story about my accident, trying to do Uber and Lyft so I can make some money to pay for the only source of transportation we had at the moment. See y'all on the next video.